Well, it's about time we started up another one. I have had this kit for about a week now. Just kind of sitting and waiting for whenever I decided to start up another one. As you guys know from a video I showed a while back, the first tank we started up unfortunately did not work out very well. There was a huge population boom and then a huge population die-off. Resulted in too much ammonia in the water, and I thought it was being fed too early, but it turns out they just couldn't do it with that many in the water. So I've had to keep an eye on that, especially for my large tank that also had a similar die-off. But with these kits, I've never had a real problem. In fact, my best tank right now is still the Ocean Zoo we set up on the channel. So I figured it's about time we set up another one. This one I found at a local store. I won't give out their name because that would give out my location. But nice little local store that had a bunch of sea monkey stuff, including starter kits. They had almost every aquarium. I actually have more than just the sea monkey on Mars. I have the castle. I have the volcano as well. The only one I don't have is the magic aquarium. And that's just because I don't like ordering stuff online whenever it comes to most things, especially since most online stuff is Amazon, and I don't really care to order from Amazon if I can avoid it, even though the links in the description are Amazon. I prefer using Amazon to AliExpress for speed purposes, but that's besides the point. I think I've rambled enough. Let's get this thing open and take a look at it. Comes with a lot of accessories, too, which is nice. One of which I have already been using, so it may not be in this box or not. Let's go ahead and get this open. That's what I've been using. Go ahead and get out the packets, spoon, and does this slide up? Is that how I get this out? Yes. It's kind of creative for the packaging. Look on the back here, it's got 1, 2, and 3. It actually has a representation of what you're going to get out of this, which is kind of cool. Little plastic things on the back here. Make it a pain to open. Thanks. You know, if I had thought about it, I would have brought over a knife. But I didn't, because I thought I cut all the tape. There we go. So now this should come up, question mark? There we go. And out it comes. Oh, the cap's missing. Where's the cap? Oh, the cap's in the box. Why is the cap in the box? I didn't even look around the box for... Oh, it's because it's taped. It's because it's taped. There we go. Cap fits on a little tighter than I'd like. I guess it's because they think you're supposed to like seal it, so it's like it's in space, so you want to keep it in its own thing. I do like the design of this tank, especially the little tiny sea monkey floating around on there. I do know that has a tendency to break, but the fact it's off to the side makes it to where I'm a little less worried about it. But go ahead and grab the box again, because we hardly look around this thing. Everything you need to grow sea monkeys. This is your instructions, basically. Add 1, 2, 3. Start feeding on the 7th day. Make sure you follow that. Everything you need to start growing sea monkeys. Nice little setup with picture there. I do like these pictures. I like the hand-drawn stuff, too, that I've seen on previous things, but I like how these look, too. They all look nice. Quick and easy, sea monkey on Mars. On the top, it shows you everything you get. Packets 1, 2, and 3. Aqua leash, the feeding spoon, and the tank. And yeah. I'd say the tank looks pretty cool. I like the fill line in the back, although I do like how on the Ocean Zoos it's embedded into the plastic instead of printed. Because that's easier to hide. But, you know, they were trying to make this thing in a nice way where it's easier to see. I do like that. I like the design of this a lot. The rocks feel actually really nice. I feel bad for whoever had to make the molds for these, because good God, that looks like a pain. But it looks like they did pretty well. Got the little gold going up the mountain there, I'm guessing lava or honey or whatever you want to look at that as. It's weird. This is the tool I've been using a lot. This is called an aqua leash. It is basically a giant pipette that is fantastic for mixing salts up inside of water, and it's great for picking up sea monkeys if you want to. It's fantastic for its job, and I think this is one of the greatest things that they've put in one of these kits. The reason they give it to you is so you can put it in here and aerate your tank. You can also put an air stone at the bottom of it. They make a version of it with it that was called like the Million Bubbler or something like that. You can put an air stone at the end of this if you wanted to modify it and make a Million Bubbler, which is going to give you a nice, easy way of filling it up. Or if you go on a Sea Monkey website, you can actually buy one for like $12. You can buy the original Aqua Leash for $8, and then you can buy the Bubbler for $12. I realized that later on. I didn't have to find a kit that had one. Apparently, you can just buy it. Over here, I believe in here should be our packets and our setup and directions, which I believe are the same as the ones that came in the Ocean Zoo, just a lot bigger. And made it look like it kind of made it look like a news report, which is kind of cool. Also, something kind of funny. Mail order part supplies. You can still snip this off and mail it off to Transscience LLC with whatever you need and the money, and they will give you whatever you want. I think that's pretty cool. Make sure you include the shipping, though, because they need to be able to ship your stuff. You can also just do it on the website, seamonkeys. I think it's sea-monkeys.com, and you can order stuff there. I haven't done that, but, I mean, you can. Water purifier, instant life eggs, grows food. Plasma 3, we've never had to experience that. That's salt. The feeding spoon. What this is. We already saw this in the Ocean Zoo kit, that's why I didn't focus too much on it. And yeah, that's actually really cool that they keep the idea of you being able to mail off this stuff. And then the instructions that are in print form, which is step 1, add water, and then mix in packet 1. You're supposed to wait 24 hours. We're not going to do that. Step 2, you can go ahead and mix in packet 2 and stir it in. Step 3, after 1 week, you may do your first feeding. Today is Sunday. I will be continuing to feed on Sunday, or whenever it seems doable. Well, over time, water will evaporate, pick back up to the fill line. Basically, once it gets about an inch below, you fill it back up. I normally fill it back up a little bit sooner than that, but I understand why. After it's gone down 2 inches is what they say, which that seems ridiculous because that's going to be like almost halfway gone. And that just seems a lot. But I guess without further ado, all right, we're back to being on my stove to work on stuff. This is going to be a little bit more difficult with that tiny opening in the top to get everything set up, but we're going to do our best. So, for starters, we need to remove the cap and add in some distilled water. I use a little pitcher thing because I buy this stuff by the gallon. I can't see the fill line from my angle. Hold on. There we go. Is that at the fill line? It looks like it's at the fill line. Oh, it's not even near the fill line. Oops. That's at the bottom of the arrow. There we go. Next, we need to add in packet number 1. Try to do this without spilling any of it. Which may be a little difficult because, again, the tiny opening at the top is a hindrance. It's the only complaint I have about this tank. And then I'm going to mix this up with the Aqua Leash. And then we'll add in packet number 2. As a gentle reminder, both packet 1 and 2 contain all the salted eggs. That's why you can do this. And the reason they tell you to wait 24 hours is because they want it to seem like it's instant life, so they can... Oh no. Little fell out. It's okay. It's okay. Don't make that mistake, but it's okay. Went on ahead and cleaned that up, and let's mix this up with the aqua leash again. The aqua leash makes this so much easier to mix things with. See you guys in a second. All right. It appears we have mostly good and mixed up. There's still a little bit in there, but I think the air bubbler will handle that. So next up, we need to move this over to its final position, which is going to be by the window. Same place as the last one. So I'll be back in a sec. All right, so we are now set up. The tank has been moved over towards the window. All mixed up and ready to go. And I guess that's it for now. I'll give you guys updates. There's a heater and a bubbler in there, obviously, just like normal. Little tiny air stone. I picked up a bunch of these, actually, because I liked the smaller size. As you can see, there's one in the sea monkey's tank, too. But yeah, I think that's everything for now. Till next time, thanks so much for watching.
Look at the boy.
He was sleeping. I was expecting him to come up here and be like, sleepy boy, but no, he's chilling. Hey, bud.